Are we recording? Yes, sir. Yo, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good night, good afternoon, whatever time you're watching this. We're back into another weekly markup. I literally just finished this right now. Look at this. 1532, 1538. And I had started since yesterday, but life gets in the way. You know what? We're back into it. So let's get it. On the monthly, you can already see monthly bullish, weekly bullish, daily bullish, H4, H1 bullish. You can pause it and read it. Let me make this bigger real quick. So now you cannot see me, but you can see the chart. So now on the monthly, we always start up on the monthly always. You could already see price was kind of turning bearish here below 137, but then we respected this previous area of support, which is 132, and then we flipped it back bullish with another. We just closed actually with a huge bullish engulfing candle on the monthly. Now on the weekly, you can see on the weekly we're respecting this uptrend here. It kind of started from here, but it looks cleaner from here. And then on the weekly we also have another bullish engulfing candle. We broke some structure, created some lows above that. So now on the weekly we could really see buys to 137. Once we hit 137, we could potentially get a sell below, or maybe the continuation to the upside, it will create a higher low above it. So right now we still have to wait. So let's hop into the daily. You see on the daily, the bullish trend, beautifully respected, bullish engulfing candle and higher low. We kind of do have a double bottom on top, and then we have the continuation to the upside. Area of supply and demand, turn over here into, we actually had a double bottom above it, but you can kind of follow the zone all the way right here. As you can see, it was a previous area of supply and demand. We had a bullish engulfing candle above it. We came back and retested it, which is what, 134,500, 134,500, yep. And then price flew after testing it, and then this is another area of supply. We just bullish engulfed it. So what could price possibly do is maybe create the higher low to continue to the upside. And obviously first target would be first 137, because at 137 we could have the pullback, right? Or maybe we could break back above 137 and continue to the upside. So now on the 4 hour, you can see on the 4 hour we're still fully bullish. We're pulling back into this area of supply and demand. Maybe we're going to test it as demand, so create a higher low above it to continue to 137, and this could be a nice little trade here. Could be 120 pips maybe for London session. Now let's get into GJ. So you could pause it and read it. Monthly bullish, weekly bullish turning bearish, daily bearish, H4, H1 bearish. So GJ usually correlates with GU sometimes, and then most of the time correlates with UJ. But you can see on the monthly we're fully bullish. Previous area of support respected above 180. We have this previous area of strong supply, strong demand, and then we broke above it with the bullish engulfing candle and a higher low above 195. And then we have this strong area of supply, which is below 208. We bullish engulfed it and we created a higher low above it, and then you can see this really strong area of supply, which gave us a drop of, well, the area of supply is here at 215, but it gave us a drop of 9,000 pips, and we're testing it. And well, we already tested it, and look, the sellers didn't have any strength, because if we would have had any strength for sales, the price would have broken below here and continued to the downside. Therefore on the monthly, as you can see, we're still bullish, right? We're only turning bearish. We're still actually bullish on the weekly, but we're turning bearish. As you can see now on the weekly, we're still bullish. Why? Because price is still above 208. Previous area of strong supply turned into demand, respected. But we are also now fading to keep on breaking highs above 215. As you can see, one test, and then we had the instant push, which created a higher low, and now we have another test. And now this test created a bearish engulfing candle. So now this could indicate that price is going to continue back down to 208. And maybe at 208 we could have the continuation to the upside, or maybe this time it will break below, right? And then now higher time frame wise, we will be looking bearish now. So now on to the daily, and now on the daily you can see a huge bearish engulfing candle, and we had a structure here which was a previous higher low, and now what is it? Which was a previous higher low, and now what is this? We have a bearish engulfing candle below it, with a bearish candle closed here, came all the way down here, but it closed here, and then we have a lower high below that previous higher low. So structure is already shifting on the higher time, on the lower time frames, bearishly. And also remember, below the higher time frame key levels, sells. Above the higher time frame key levels, buy. And right now we just broke back below 215. So maybe if price can actually stay below this zone right here, you can see sells below, buys above. We could maybe see sells below, back down, maybe even all the way to 208. So this pullback could go something like this, right? And then obviously maybe at 208 we could have the potential trade off either zone. So now let's hop into the 4 hour. As you can see, another bearish engulfing candle. Well, first we had a huge bearish engulfing candle here, and then the full meltdown into below 215, right? And then we had the previous area, the previous higher low. Price came back, tested it. As you can see, previous area of demand will come back and be tested as area of supply, because two things could have happened here. What happened here, which was a higher low, the lower high below it, or if we would have broken above it, we would have gotten the higher low, and obviously TP1 would have been 215, which would have been a solid 90 pips, because obviously at 215 we could have another pullback back down, or we could have the break above and create the higher low and continue to the upside. So now, I mean, that's basically it right now. Actually, I'm not gonna lie, fuck, but that's 100 pips. If you're willing to risk 100 pips, obviously your entry, your lot size has to match that, right? Obviously on a one lot, that's $1,000. So maybe you would like to risk less. Maybe you pop a 010 and you're risking $100 to make 260. But now we know that maybe now we hop into the smaller time frames, price could maybe give us a pullback, right? So while we're not getting too much drawdown, as you can see, we already have an impulse within the range here. This is what the CSI people, what are they called? The ICC people, or what are they called? The people who trade only on like on the 1 minute and shit, the fair value gap people. So this is kind of like what they look into for entries. So even though on the higher time frame we're still right, so if we were to enter into the sell now, it'd be very possible that price goes into drawdown and comes over here and tests this previous area of strong impulsive move and continues. And it could also very easily test it, continue to the upside, right? But we could just wait for price to get to this zone. Look, our stop loss would now be 38 pips instead of 100. Sometimes just waiting for a trade. So actually, you know what, I'm going to wait. I'm just going to wait for price to get to this 15-minute zone. This is very important, right? Because I like to enter off the 15-minute of the 5-minute. So if my 5-minute and my 15, well, actually, it is bearish, and this could kind of already be the test. But then again, where am I gonna put my stop loss? My stop loss has to be here, because anything here is vulnerable of being hit. If I want to take the sales now, this is where I would have my stop loss. 100 pips to make 260, which is still good risk to reward, but you just cannot pop the big lot size. If you want to pop the big lot size, or what you could probably do is just enter now, and then if price retrace, enter again. But you enter now with very, very low risk, obviously, and then this would be your good entry. But then again, it's not guaranteed that price is going to sell when price tests this zone. So you still have to wait for price to actually do this, right? And it cannot do that. It could also just do this and continue. That's the beautiful thing about trading. So actually I'm going to wait on the setup, but we are looking extremely bearish still. And actually, higher time frame wise, this test will still respect the previous area of demand that turned into supply, and now actually would be looking really good, right? It would even look like a double bottom below it, and it will still be a lower high as well, right? And if not, then we wait for this. It's that simple. So we're waiting on GJ. Unless you're impatient and you want to get in sales and be in 100 pip stock, be in 100 pip possible, like maybe 80 pip drawdown, because I still do not think is, I still think we're gonna come back down all the way to 208, right? What could happen maybe is, obviously if we don't get the sales, we're gonna get the buys above this zone, previous area of demand tested, and we're gonna break above it, and we're gonna test the previous area of demand again as well as demand, and maybe we could come to 215, and maybe at 215 we could have the pullback down, right? So this is very important. Just we have to wait for price, right? And this move could possibly happen during London session today. It's still 3. Look, it's already 4. So now, last but not least, we still gotta do UJ, USDCAD, and NZDCAD. So monthly bullish turning bearish, weekly bearish, daily bearish, H4H1 bearish on USDJPY. Let's get into this shit. Remember, you always want to start up on the monthly, your top down analysis. Overall, we're bullish. Actually, we're bullish turning bearish, right? Yes, we're bullish turning bearish, because it's already right here, you can see. I mean, as long as we're bullish first, we are still overall bullish, but we are turning bearish, because as you can see, price is failing to keep on breaking highs above 160, and above 160, obviously, well, actually at 160 we have a really strong area of supply, strong area of supply, strong area of supply, and then we have somewhat of a strong area of demand here. We actually never had this area be demand before, because I wouldn't even call it a demand over here. This is just like a little pull, actually yes, it was little pullback of demand, but to continue bearish, and that's what it looks like is going to happen here as well. So right now I'm seeing a potential pullback maybe to 150, 500, right? So this actually looks better on the weekly. So the support is being respected above 140. We have a bullish engulfing candle and a higher low above 152, 500. That's why we're bullish. But obviously, why are we turning bearish? Because price is failing to keep on breaking highs above 160 and above 158, 500, which happen to be previous areas of strong supply. So now into the weekly, you can see on the weekly, actually on the weekly we're already bearish, because you can see previous area of supply respected below 160, and we have a bearish engulfing candle below it that actually broke a lot of structure. So now obviously higher time frame wise, this is looking like it's going to happen. So now on the daily, we're starting to get a pullback. So maybe we could get a pullback into this zone here, which still has not yet happened, something like this to continue. And this is what, 157,500, 157,400, 157,500. On the daily, we obviously have the daily bearish engulfing candle below it, and then previous area of strong supply, previous area of strong demand. We could turn it into supply again. On the 4 hour, maybe this could already kind of be a test below it, and obviously this is already a double bottom here over here, but we're still bearish. I want to say we're bullish till we break back above here, and maybe even above 158. And on the 1 hour, we're kind of just range. Yeah, this does not look good to enter in a trade right now. Obviously, you could enter in buys right now, but look at this shit. Your risk to reward is not there. I mean, TP1 158, 500. I mean, this is not worth it. So I would rather wait for this price to get to one of these zones, either this zone right here for the sales, or maybe 158 for further sales as well. Now let's get into USDCAD. Monthly bearish, weekly bearish, daily bearish, H4, H1 bearish. Dude, this shit has been fully bearish for a while. Look at this. Previous area of supply respected. Below 147. Bearish engulfing candle below 143,700 and below 139, which obviously was a previous strong area of supply here, previous area of strong demand here, and then we just turned into supply as well again. And then we also had support being respected above 135,100, as you can see. It gave us a push all the way back to 139. Price came back down and tested it, and it gave us another push back to 139, creating a lower high below 139. So we're kind of, who knows, maybe we're gonna start ranging between these two zones. Because as long as price stays above 135,100, it could actually give us a continuation to the upside. Then on the weekly, we're bearish. Huge bearish engulfing candles below. We were just turning bullish as well. We're actually bearish. We're bearish because we failed to keep on breaking highs above 139, and we had this bearish engulfing candle below here. We could have taken these sales right after seeing this bearish engulfing candle and the rejection of 139. Look at this, 200 pips. But now we could actually get the potential buys to the upside to 139. That's another 200 pips to the upside, right? So now, but we're still bearish on the weekly. So now let's get into the daily. The daily, we're still bearish. Lower high and bearish engulfing candle below 139. And then we have this daily zone right here, which got respected. More lower highs created. And now prices rejecting above 135,100 actually. Look at this. Look at this daily close. This is a bullish pin bar, I believe, if I remember correctly from reading my Japanese candlestick analysis book, or the Japanese candlestick trading Bible. That's what it's called, right? So I do believe this is a bullish pin bar. Let me actually just, if it's not a bullish pin bar, all right, so it is a bullish pin bar. So watch, bullish pin bar, you can see, and we have it on USDCAD. So, and especially, not only do we have it on USDCAD, but we have it above a previous area of strong area of supply and demand. So look at this, above 135,100. So now we hop into the 4 hour. You can see that on the 4 hour, we're already on the way to another previous area of the strong demand and obviously strong supply. So now all we have to do is for price to get to this zone, and it's either going to give us a sell or it's either going to give us a buy. It's that simple. So actually, this is actually a good looking trade here. So let me set an alert here. Man, let me freaking delete one of my alerts. Let me delete this one for an SPX. So I'm gonna set this one, possible trade soon. Or actually, possible trade. So you already know that. I mean, once we get to this zone, it's either gonna be, we're gonna test it below it and continue. And the thing is, our price could do this, right? It could go all the way above the zone and then still melt. So you still have to be careful and watch it. You can't just enter based on a rejection. You have to wait for the candle confirmation. So on the 4 hour, that's what we're looking for. And now, which one's next? NZDCAD, is that it? Monthly bearish turning bullish, weekly bullish, daily bullish, H4, H1 bullish. You can pause it and read it. NZDCAD. So you always want to start out from your top-down analysis on the monthly. And you can already see lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower low, lower low. Oh shoot. Lower highs and lower lows, right? Until price got to 0.80. and then at 0.80 we've been respecting the support, and then we broke back below it to test 0.78,500, and then we created a double bottom above that, and then we had a bullish engulfing candle above 0.80, tested the previous area of supply and demand, which is 0.82,500, and now it's giving us a pullback down to 0.80 again. But if you look into the weekly, you can already see we're creating higher lows, and we are above 0.80. I said on the monthly we're bearish turning bullish, correct, and then on the weekly we're already bullish trend respected. The double bottoms above 0.78,500. No, did I say bearish trend respected? It's bullish trend respected, which is this one, and then we have a weekly bullish engulfing candle above 0.80. So now if we hop into the daily, you can see on the daily we were kind of turning bearish after testing this previous area on another previous area of strong supply and demand, and then obviously we had the huge bullish reaction of the trend, and we have a higher low, and obviously the bullish engulfing candle above 0.80. So now this is indicating that we're still bullish. And then on the 4 hour, this is just what I'm waiting for here, right? All I'm waiting for is for price to get above this zone here, give us that bullish engulfing candle, give us a higher low, and then we have targets. So this could actually be a really good position here as well, and actually it could correlate with USDCAD on the buys. If we actually do get another bullish engulfing candle here and a higher low, it could be very similar to this. So we could actually take two positions for the price, well, actually not for the price of one, but maybe two positions. Right now price could still be a hoe and come and do this and continue. So that's it. I say we actually just wait for this zone to be broken above this zone right here on the 4 hour. If we were to get this bullish engulfing candle above here and a higher low, I'd be looking solid for the trade, especially being that we're above 0.80 and we're rejecting above it. So now all we have to do is just wait for the trade, for everything to set up, and actually this could run all the way to 82.5. So now all we have to do is just wait. Back to work. Peace and love to anybody watching this. I commend you health, wealth, knowledge, wisdom for your entire family. Peace and love.